so sometimes I do yoga just for fun. Quite often I also do yoga after I've been cycling. Cycling for me generates tight quads, tight hip flexors, sore bottom muscles, sore calves. I mean, it's great, right? We love cycling. And sore across the chest. So this is supposed to just be a gentle stretch out after you've been cycling. Yoga can be beneficial in other ways on different days for building your core strength and so on, but if you've just done a hard turbo session or a long ride like I've done, then frankly doing a core session right now is not feeling that awesome. So start off with bringing 1 foot forward and 1 foot back, both equal hips facing the front, bending the front knee, lift up your arms so you can open the chest away from that crouched over handlebars position, feeling the stretch in the front of your left hip, possibly in the calf as well. Exhale, bow forward, straightening your front leg. Inhale, bending your front leg, opening the chest. Exhale, bending the front leg, bowing forward, taking your nose towards your knee. Don't worry if it doesn't touch your knee. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale, going back down, straightening the leg. Inhale, coming up, opening the chest, pushing down hard into both feet. Don't need a yoga mat, as you can see, I've just got sweaty feet instead. So glamorous, the cycling life. Anyway, exhale, then staying down here with your hands on the hips, trying to keep at the hips level and gradually keeping the length in the spine and gradually bringing down. This is a strong, strong hamstring stretch. So breathe, keep breathing, try to hold your breath. Keep breathing, and also recognise that you can't undo all of the ills of tight hamstrings in one stretching session. Inhale, coming up. Swapping over to the other side. So left foot forward now. Stretch across the right hip, ouch. Inhale, reaching up and open. Bending that front knee, both hips level. Exhale, straightening the front leg, taking a little bow forward with your nose towards your knee. Inhale, reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, straightening that front leg, feeling the stretch in the back of your leg. Inhale, coming up, bending the front knee. Exhale, bowing back down. Inhale, bending the front knee as you come up. And then exhale, bring your hands to your hips, taking the stretch into the back of your leg, keeping the spine long, keeping the shoulders back, trying to undo the dropped shoulders, stooped over the handlebars thing. And then inhale, coming up. So you might want to do a wiggle, bit of a, I don't know who does this hip swiggle thing. Elvis Presley? Show my age, no, I'm not as old as that. Anyway, right. Rotating the arms and shoulders, particularly when it's cold. I do a lot of this on the handlebars without even realising it, because I'm trying to stop it all going down my neck, that chilly Arctic breeze. Okay, so I'm placing your left hand on the wall. You don't need to hold the wall, but it's always kind of a good idea. I don't know about you, but when I get off the bike, I can feel a bit woo. Depends how hard a turbo session. And reaching your right hand round to take hold of your right ankle. So this already, for most people, is quite tight. Most cyclists, I would say, is quite tight. So you're opening up the shoulder and the chest. You're stretching out the hip flexor and your thigh muscle. So you push with your foot into your hand. Now some people may be able to get further forward. Yoga is not a competition, definitely not a competition. And I've been doing yoga longer than some people. 11 years now, starting with, so please don't compete. Work with the point at which you feel is a good stretch without making you want to weep. If it's making you want to weep, then maybe back up and press it down. Okay, so the other side, taking hold of the left ankle. Okay, you don't have to hold onto the wall, but just I do it for security because I'm trying to focus on the stretch rather than focusing on the balance at this point. When I'm doing a yoga practice, then I would focus on balance as well. But because this is kind of really yoga for cyclists, so you're pushing back into your hand, we're trying to really think about the muscles that have got tight as a result of cycling. stretching out the front, and then exhale, back down. Okay, now for some bottom muscle ones. So you're going to bring your right foot on top of your left knee, so like this, and you're flexing this foot. Okay, so again, hold on to the wall if you need to, or you can park your bum against the wall. If you balance, it's slightly harder work from a balance perspective, but since what we're trying to do really is stretch, there's no shame in sitting down if that's what you need to do from a balance point of view. Okay, so then you're gradually sitting down, breathing, quite intense on the bottom muscles, for me certainly. You can have your hands on your thighs if that feels like the right thing to do. I tend to do this, not because I'm sneaking in a cheeky prayer, but because it helps me again to keep the shoulders open as an antidote to my cycling posture. Obviously, if I was a pro, I would have perfect cycling posture, but you know, I'm not. So there we are. And then coming back up, swapping over to the other side. Ooh, this one's a lot tighter. Now you know that the cycling kit wasn't just put on for this video. I have just done an as turbo, and my goodness, yes, insert expletive of your choice. So keeping the spine long, turn around. So you can see I'm keeping the spine long. I'm not shunking over like this, keeping it long, drawing the tummy in towards your spine, flexing that top foot again, feeling the stretch across your hip, the bottom muscles working really hard. When you're on your bike, particularly if you've done climbing, that one's often quite ouchy. Okay, so that's a general start of the 10. If you haven't got any time for any more, press pause and come back and do some more later. Okay, so I'm now going to move down to slightly lower on the ground, so I'm going to alter the camera and try not to knock it over. Here we are. Ooh, look at that. There we are. Marvellous. Okay. Right. So, bring your hands down to the floor and your foot out to the side. Okay. Now, for a lot of people, this is enough. You can have the knee down if you need to. This is too intense. You can have up on fingertips. You can be leaning on a book, something like that if you need to. If it's ouchy under your knee, you can rest it on a cushion. I'm sure you've got one somewhere, or a pillow. Breathing if you've got the knee up, quite intense on the hip. If you are flexible, you may be able to get down to elbows. It's up to you. I'm going to stay up for today because, frankly, that feels like quite enough to be getting on with. Okay, then placing the knee down. At this point, if you are doing it on wooden floor, you probably will need a cushion, depends how bony your knees are, and then reaching around with your right hand to take hold of your left foot. Okay, so your right shoulder is lifted, quite intense on the the left inner thigh. When I do this for my husband, he's quite often going, or just got that face of. So it's okay if you also think this is quite ouchy. If you doing that gives you instant hamstrings pain, then you can just reach your hand back and point in the direction of your toe, and that'll give you the chest lift, still the stretch across the front of the hip, but it's not quite so intense. Bringing the hand down. Okay, so tucking the back toe. You can inhale, come forward in a kind of Usain Bolt, I'm going to start a race kind of way. And then exhale, bring your hand either side of the foot, stretching back at the back of the hamstring. Okay, so inhale, bending front knee, back to our runner's lunge. Exhale. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Bring both feet back. Okay, so for downward dog, for most people, you probably need to bend your knees. You're thinking about lengthening out your spine. And then you can gradually send the heels towards the floor. But for most people, you need to be looking at your tummy, bending the knees and trying to think about a long spine. Okay, now we're going to have the left foot forward. So both hands are to the right of it. Okay. So we're here. It's called lizard pose if you're bothered. But anyway, lizard pose. Again, you can have the knee down if you need to, or have the knee up. Again, forearms if that's an option for you, or not. But don't give yourself groin strain on account of trying to achieve some arbitrary position. Okay, so then stretch in the front of the thigh. Sorry, you're getting real time oohs and ahs. I'm not sure if this happens often. Didn't happen on my professional one that I used to watch. Anyway, reaching the left hand round, taking hold of the right foot. Again, you might want a cushion for this for your knee, depending on your knee. So lifting up with the left shoulder. Or you can have the foot flat on the floor and just be pointing towards it if holding the foot is too intense. Okay, then walking the foot back so it's in the middle and you've got one hand either side of your feet. The front foot, okay, then you're going to inhale, look forward like your little Usain Bolt runner. Exhale, straightening the front leg, looking towards the knee. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, back. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, back. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, back. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, back. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, back. And then stepping both feet back so that they're back in downward dog. So you may come all the way down. Bring both knees to the floor. Bring your bottom to your heels. Stretch your arms forward. Staying here, or you can bring your hands back round by your bottom. This is often feels really nice on a lower back, which has been overdoing it on hills and so on. And then head the opposite direction. And then inhale, bring your hands back round. Coming up onto all fours. And inhale, open the front of your chest. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, back. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, back. Okay, lying yourself down on the floor. Okay, reaching your right hand round to the right ankle. You can bring your weight up onto your left elbow and then gradually pushing your right hip into the floor, keeping the foot in line with your legs, so you're not having knees coming out to the side. It's in line with the hip, lifting up with the chest gradually, kicking back into your hand, stretching out the front of your leg. I know we've already done it, but it's good to kind of come back to it a few times from different directions. I find that some things stretch me more than stretch other people more, and vice versa. So it's worth sort of going through a few different ways, seeing which ones make your body feel like feel better, basically. Feel less sore and more ready to go the next day. And then left foot round in the left hand. I've just realised this whole film is on the wonk. Oh well. Sorry everybody. And then coming back. Okay, you can roll over onto your back. Bring your right foot on top of your left knee, as we did before. Again, some people find it easier to access from this lying down position. So your right hand goes in between your legs and then behind your left leg. Okay? So you're gradually pulling your left leg towards you, feeling a stretch across your right bottom, flexing your right foot. Swapping over to the other side. Okay, and then we're back to some hamstrings. Now, if you happen to have a yoga strap, marvellous, but most of us don't, so that's why I'm trying to not use fancy yoga props, which you guys probably don't have. So it doesn't, you don't have to have a prop in order to be able to do this. Okay, so holding your leg wherever you reach it. Some people can reach their foot. Marvellous, I can't. I'm guessing you probably can't either. Okay, so then you're going to gradually hold your leg and pull it towards you with kindness. So you're trying to get the hip to go down into the socket and then the leg gradually to come towards you. Okay, and then the legs are going to the side a little bit. If this hip starts coming off the floor, you've gone too far. So see where it gets to. Okay, and then over the top. You can gradually, so this is not a yank, this is a gentle touch with my fingers. And this is quite intense across the top of my leg. Not as intense as normal, weirdly. But I guess humans, not robots, so there we are. Coming back up. Oof. Okay, so now the left leg towards you. Okay, so again, the action of the leg is coming down into the hip socket and then gradually towards you. Flexing your opposite foot, this one down here. And then opening out the leg to the side. This one doesn't open nearly as far. Again, we're not robots, we're not symmetrical. And then over the top. Gradually touching it down with the fingertips. So this is not I mean, stretching should never be like a shove, because that's unlikely to lead to your body feeling better. This is just to guide it down. Okay, now I can feel a stretch of kind of 6 out of 10 maybe, and that's plenty. For me, I don't really feel the need to give myself excruciating pain. I reserve that for cycling up large mountains. Everyone's idea of a good day out is different, right? And then coming up. So bringing both knees into the chest, hugging yourself in. And then you can lie back. So if you have some pillows, you can prop them behind your back to really open out the chest. If you don't, just lie back, palms open to the sky, feet dropping open to the side. Gradually get yourself a wiggle. You can roll yourself onto one side. Back up to sitting. And hopefully this has helped you feel less stiff after your normal cycling. Thank you for trying. Namaste.